When I discovered Nouns, it felt like it had the potential to be something completely new, where someone like me could get their ideas funded and make almost anything. 1 year later, I pitched my own idea and would be funded $500,000 to make it happen. I'm Jacob Tran, and I built a Nouns-inspired fashion line. It began with a thread that one of the founders released about what Nouns was. That every day forever, there would be a noun, and there would be an auction, and all the proceeds would go into this treasury, where people who own these nouns have governance over what happens with the money in the treasury. I was pretty familiar with crypto and NFTs, but I hadn't seen a project like this before. For the next year, I was watching the kinds of proposals that Nouns was funding. Nouns coffee, baked beans, comic books, athletes, sponsorships. I came across some fashion projects as well, 3D printed clothes, luxury sunglasses, and I started to think about how I could create my own take on a Nouns fashion proposal. I started writing a proposal for my Nouns-inspired fashion collection, and I was outlining the kinds of designs we could make, timeline for the stages of production, all the costs involved, and I put it on discourse, and I ended up getting a lot of pushback. For a few reasons, but the biggest was I tried to redesign the noggles, which are the logo of Nouns, and they're these iconic glasses that all the characters wear. I took that feedback pretty seriously because I knew that if people weren't on board with this, then this was never going to pass. So I rewrote the proposal, I kept the noggle design true to the brand, and I kept having a lot of conversations with the community. A lot of people gave me their time to give feedback on the proposal, and I'm really thankful for that. Once it was ready, the proposal went on chain. We got 87 yeses and 4 nos. A week after it goes on chain, we have the funds and we immediately get to work. Nouns brand is a 22-piece fashion line made up of cut and sewn clothes and accessories. Cut and sew is different from the traditional merch. You're picking stitches, materials, color, the wash, patterns. It just shows greater attention to detail, and we know that we're getting better quality clothes. This cardigan is inspired by the abstract Nouns head, and so we call it the abstract cardigan. The abstract cardigan was a pretty ambitious piece because cardigans are usually an acrylic or nylon blend, but we wanted to use 100% wool. And when you create a 100% wool cardigan, most brands are only using 2 to 3 colors, and we chose to use 9. We used a unique process on the jean jacket. It's an embossed logo, and to give it structure, we used an injection mold. This is the Nouns belt. We use die-cut stainless steel to make the noggles. The leather makes the black portion of the noggles. 3 pants, 3 hoodies, 2 jackets, 3 sweaters, 3 t-shirts, a bag, a belt, and beanies. It's a marriage between streetwear and high fashion with a sprinkle of Nouns. Next, we had to shoot a lookbook. I knew that Stupid Buddy Studios were working on a giant float for the roast parade, and it was going to include Nouns mascot costumes. So I called Chris Waters at Stupid Buddy. I tell him my idea for the Nouns brand lookbook. I want models running around in Nouns brand clothes with Nouns gloves, Nouns shoes, and Nouns heads against this inflatable background. And he loved the idea. It's pretty cool that there were 2 Nouns proposals working together. We have Stupid Buddy Studios working on their parade and me working on these clothes. We just took both proposals to a new place and expanded the Nouniverse. The day of the shoot, I got to meet the people who created Nouns, and it was surreal that one of these people was the author of the original thread that got me involved with all of this in the first place. With the release of Nouns brand, the goal is to see Nouns everywhere. If it's Paris Fashion Week, you want to see people in Paris wearing Nouns brand. If it's the end of the year hottest items list, GQ, Vogue, you want to see Nouns brand. If we're going to see Nouns around the world, we need more people creating things that are based on Nouns. The thing I love is that Nouns is a lot bigger than clothes. It's sports, it's tech, it's music, it's film, it's culture, it's philanthropy, it's innovation. It's the way you express yourself. Other NFT projects are just selling art, and Nouns is selling people a canvas and letting them do whatever they want with it. I think there's a lot of room for creatives to join Nouns and leverage Nouns to create. Beanies, bags, and cardigans are available now on clothes.wtf. feel like my proposal was a love letter to Nouns, and I'm really grateful to be doing this.